Podcasts on UNCTV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
The One campaign focuses on combating extreme poverty and preventable disease worldwide. The grassroots advocacy group recently sponsored a trip which took 10 women from across the United States on a week-long tour of Kenya. North Carolinians Jennifer James and Rachel Fox were on that trip and stopped by our studios to talk about it. Jennifer James, Rachel Fox, both of you welcome to North Carolina now.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Now, both of you are members of the One campaign, and Rachel, I'll start off with you. What is the mission of the One campaign?
Well, thanks for asking. The One campaign, it's an advocacy organization that was started back in 2004. It's backed by about 2.5 million people around the world, about 36,000 right here in the state of North Carolina. And what the One campaign does is it asks individuals to give their voice, not their money. It's not a charity, it's advocacy. If we can give our voice to those living in extreme poverty, those living on less than $1.25 a day.
Now, both of you are bloggers, and you were able to put your skills at work because you were with a group of 10 people who went to Kenya to look at poverty in the region. Jennifer, what was it like? Because you hear about poverty, you see it on television, but once you got there and you saw it firsthand, what was going through your mind?
That's poverty unlike anything I've ever seen here in the United States. We see poverty here in the States, but it absolutely does not compare to what we witnessed in Kenya. We saw a lot of areas where cholera could break out at any time, people who didn't have sanitation, just a lot of intrinsic poverty in Kenya. And so the first thing that I thought of was, this is something that I've never witnessed before, and that it's nothing like in the States. It's real poverty.
Rachel, what went through your mind?
Yeah, seeing the water. I kept resonating with the fact that moms would get up every morning and it would take them 2 hours to go get 2 jugs of water to bring back to their homes. I mean, that really resonated with me. I'm grateful for water that runs out of a faucet.
And of course, the two of you were blogging for about a week. And Rachel, what were some of the things that you were blogging about, and what were some of the encounters you had?
Yeah, resonating with the human connections that we made. One woman I met at an agriculture Irish potato farm named Grace. It was such an interesting, beautiful connection that we formed when we realized that we both peel potatoes exactly the same. Mm-hmm. And then to see her farm and the intentions that their farm cooperative had to, they didn't intend to just feed their community. They had intentions to feed their entire country. They were aware of what was happening in the Horn of Africa, and they wanted to make a difference. And I thought that was very powerful, those human connections, so I wanted to share those on my blog.
Jennifer, what were some of the things that you shared? I know there were photos as well. Mm-hmm. Talk about some of the things that you encountered.
I encountered so much. We all did. And some of the things that I talked about were the in-home visits that we had in Kenya. We went into the actual homes of mothers and families to see exactly how they live. One of the homes that we went into was a traditional luau hut, and it was so beautiful. Inside, you would think that a mud hut is extremely hot. It was so cool and breezy inside and absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. The thatch roofs were amazing. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to share and impart to our readers back home, that the homes are just like ours. The people are just like us. They just live in different circumstances, and their homes are a lot smaller. They may not have the running water, but they're just like we are here.
And both of you followed health officials as they were going through Kenya and dealing with some of the people. What were some of the things you saw?
Particularly in Kibera, which is the largest slum in Kenya, we saw some really unsanitary situations. And like I mentioned before, they have a lot of cholera outbreaks, no running water. They have electricity, but it's, a lot of times it's through illegal hookups and things like that. There were a lot of human waste all around the slums. You could smell it. You could immediately smell it when we got out of the bus. So those are some of the things that we encountered, and it's unlike anything that I've seen in the States.
Rachel, and actually you too, Jennifer, both of you being moms, and you saw these type of conditions. How did you feel just being a part of that just for a week?
Yeah, you know, I really resonated with that, and then what I also took away from it though was like the hope and the optimism that's there too. Like while we're in the Kibera slum, we saw this 2-story beautiful Tabitha clinic and I saw moms there getting their babies, their children immunizations. So I would see that and then I would think, you know, that mom is there, and I can put myself in that position because I just took my child to get immunizations. You know, a 2-minute drive down the road, these moms walk, you know, an hour to the clinic. But I saw that type of stuff too as a mom, and that really resonated.
And even though they were living in such abject poverty, their spirits weren't broken at all, which was it was so amazing to see. These were people who were genuinely happy despite where they were living, and it touched us really deeply.
Rachel, now that the two of you have gone through this and have experienced this situation in Kenya, how does that pertain to the One campaign? Is it over from there? What's the next step?
No, we are just getting started. This was the beginning. You know, the One Mom portion of One is just the beginning because now, you know, we are here to share the stories, to show that the U.S. programs on less than 1% of the U.S. budget, millions of lives are being saved. So we're going to ask people now to join One, to join the conversation, to sign the petitions, to write letters to their members of Congress, to ask them to support these programs because we saw them in action. We saw what they're doing, and we saw the collaboration that's happening between private-public partnerships and the difference that it's making. So we're going to ask people to, you know, we're going to continue blogging, we're going to continue reaching out, we're going to continue, you know, hopefully inspiring everyone to join the One campaign and join us.
And if viewers want to find out more information, where can they go?
One.org. O-N-E, like the number, one.org. It's a bipartisan organization that pulls people together from all walks of life, joining together as one to give their voice for the world's poorest.
A final question to both of you, and Jennifer, I'll start with you. After experiencing what you experienced in Kenya, what life lesson have you learned from all of this?
No problem is too big. I am through with going through the rigors of wondering what I'm going to do today, what goals I'm going to reach, what problems I have, what's going on in my life. My life lesson was to slow down and to realize that I have a really good life here and that there are people who are in real need, and that as long as I continue to use my platform to give voice to those people in poverty, I'm happy.
Rachel, your thoughts?
You know, for me personally, it was a lesson that I truly believe that one mom, we say it takes only one mom. I believe that one mom can inspire many to change the world, to make it a better place. And I saw that from the moms that we saw as village reporters to the moms that we saw working in the hospitals. And so I know that me personally, I can do it too.
Rachel Fox, author of the Coming Alive blog, Jennifer James, creator of the Moms Bloggers Club, and you're both members of the One campaign. Thank you so very much for stopping by and sharing your stories with us, and continued success to the both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you thank you.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.